Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 for a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each trade average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be doing an update on MMTLP share count from Lolly's survey, so stay tuned for that. We're also going to be looking at MMAT Metamaterials and looking at the question, can George stay on as a board member? And then we're going to be finishing off by looking at the top 10 AI stocks in terms of a review, so stay tuned for that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Market Watch, the US stocks waver between gains and losses, but head for a third week in green. So again, the overall mixed day in terms of the market, so a little bit jittery. But in other significant news for ChargePoint, a headline here from Reuters, we can see the stock did slump today to a record low after revenue warnings. So I think at time I saw it was down close to 30%. But let's now have a look at the top most profitable companies by sector. So we can see here significant ones here are Apple, just in excess of 99.8 billion. Pfizer 31.3 billion, but Pfizer's stock price is down quite significantly from the highs of COVID time. Tesla 12.6 billion, Exxon 55.7 billion, amongst many others. So let's have a look at what's happening in the markets in terms of the Fear and Greed Index, and we can see here right now there is a significant amount of greed in the market. People are investing, but the good news is there is no longer fear. Let's have a look at an update on the share survey. So shout out here to Lolly for carrying this out and also adding it onto a spreadsheet. So if you would like to share your share count with Lolly, go ahead and share that with her on her Twitter account. But let's have a look at what the latest figures are in terms of IRA and overseas accounts. So remember, IRA and overseas accounts are currently unable to fill the boat for AST. So shout out here to MMAT News, who have posted some of the key figures from Lolly's survey. So if we have a look at here, in terms of estimated shares in IRA of 401k and retirement accounts, just in excess of 988,000 shares who are from Canada or overseas, just in excess of 612,000. So from Lolly's survey, we have just in excess of 2 million. And the other figure from Lolly's survey, just in excess of 1.08 million. So bringing a total number of shares currently that are unable to transfer just in excess of 3.11 million. So what we can see here is the survey is from 113 verified MMTLP NextBridge hydrocarbon shareholders. So it's not a huge amount, so it is based on estimates. And remember, the 401k and the IRA and the overseas accounts will not be able to move their shares to AST at the moment. And if you would like to go ahead and add your share count into the survey, it's BOONDOCK ERM 600. So hopefully we can get more closer to the AST boat getting full. So let's now move on to have a look at the news with regard to MMAT Metamaterials. And the breaking news that I shared earlier was with regard to George Palikaras. So he has not yet left the company. And the quotation from the company was that Mr. Palikaras has not yet tendered his resignation from the board and continues to serve as a non-independent director. So what the company had to do is submit a 14A, and this was in connection with the meeting, which is the annual general meeting of stockholders. The date is Monday, December the 11th, 2023. So the way I read this is that George Palikaras had the option to resign, but it certainly looks like he has chosen not to. So let's have a look at details of the 14A. So this was obviously released yesterday, but we can see here that, just for confirmation, the annual meeting of stockholders will take place on December the 11th, 2023. I believe this will be also available virtually and online. This 14A is dated November the 16th, 2023. In other confirmation here, we know that Jim Fasaro has resigned as the Chief Executive Officer, and the board has nominated 8 candidates to stand for election as directors at the annual general meeting. So Mr. Fasaro's name has now been withdrawn. So the revised list of candidates here include John Harding, Alison Christie-Law, we have Steen Craspo, Ken Hanna, Eugene Corrales, Vyomesh Joshi and Philip Morali, but not George Palikaras on the list. So we're not looking good there for George. But in other information in terms of the appointment of the new Chief Executive Officer, we can see the board have now promoted Uzi Sasson to become the CEO of the company. He is going to be replacing Mr. Fasaro, and Mr. Sasson, aged 61, has served as the company's CFO since April 2023, so not too long in the company. So let's have a look at the board composition. So the interesting thing here is that George Palikaras, the former Chief Executive Officer, was required to, under his employment agreement with the company, to resign, but obviously he hasn't resigned. As director, in terms of the date with the company, it should have been terminated, but obviously this has not been the case, and it states here he's not yet tendered his resignation from the board, so he continues to serve as a non-independent director. And what it also states here, he has not been nominated for re-election at the annual general meeting as a result of this, and this is going to basically mean after that annual general meeting, that will be official and legal confirmation of him no longer being part of the board and no longer being an insider. So one reaction I'd like to share with you is from Jonah, and what she stated here is that now is a time to fight harder. Calls and letters to investor relations and voting no to all of the board of directors. MMAT, now time to stand up for George, who fought for us. So I think this is potentially the start of a campaign to get George back and re-elected onto the board. And finally, I'm going to finish off by having a quick review of the top 10 semiconductor stocks. So let's start off by having a look at in 10th position is ticker symbol CDNS, also known as Cadence Design Systems. They are the leader in electronic design automation, also known as EDA software. In terms of revenue estimates, we're looking at approximately 4.6 billion and growth estimates 12%. So again, good company there with the long-term potential. Coming in at number 9 is Intel, also known as ticker symbol INTC. So the competitive advantage that they have is they are a leader in the microprocessing market, also known for the CPUs used in computers and data centers. So revenue estimates, we're looking at 60.9 billion, so a huge company, and growth estimates there a very healthy 13%. So coming in at number 8, ticker symbol AVGO, also known as Broadcom. They design, develop and supply a broad range of semiconductors and also infrastructure software solutions. Growth revenue estimates there for Broadcom approximately 39.3 billion and growth estimates 8%, so quite a strong company there. And number 7, CLAC, ticker symbol CLAC, also known as CLA Corporation, and they specialize in process control and yield of management solutions for the semiconductor industries. So revenue estimates, we're looking at 10.1 billion, growth estimates 5%, so quite steady there for CLAC. And coming in at number 6 is ticker symbol ASML. So the advantage that they have is that they are the only producer of extreme ultraviolet lithography machines. So these are obviously critical in manufacturing of most advanced semiconductors. So revenue estimates, we're looking at 27.5 billion and growth estimates there of 1%, but certainly having a unique market there. Coming in at number 5, LRCX, also known as Lam Research. They focus on semiconductor equipment used in water fabrication. So again, critical and important area there. Revenue estimate 15.8 billion and growth estimate 11%, so quite healthy there for Lam Research. And the next one I'd like to share with you is number 4, also known as Applied Materials, ticker symbol AMAT. They are a leading supplier of equipment, services and software for the semiconductor display and solar photovoltaic industries. So revenue estimates 26.9 billion, growth estimates 3%, so a solid company there. And the next one is ticker symbol TSM, also known as Taiwan Semiconductor. So they are the world's largest dedicated independent semiconductor foundry. So they also have cutting-edge technology, include the advanced 5 nanometer process. So obviously they are a critical supplier of major tech companies, including Apple, Qualcomm, AMD. So revenue estimates 80.6 billion. And growth estimates a very impressive 21%. So coming in at number 2 is ticker symbol AMD, also known as Advanced Micro Devices. So they specialize in CPUs, GPUs, and they compete directly with Intel and Nvidia. Revenue estimate $26.5 billion and growth estimate a very healthy 17%. So let's move on to finish off by having a look at number 1. So number 1 position is NVDA, also known as Nvidia. So they are renowned for their graphics processing, GPUs, essential in gaming, professional visualization, data centers, and also AI. So revenue estimates 79.9 billion and growth estimates a staggering 47%. So let's now finish off by having a look at a comparison of the PE ratios. So we can see here 48x CDNS all the way down to TSM 18x. And finally, if you'd like to get a copy of our next weekly watch list, which will be shared prior to trading on the Monday, as well as a copy of our daily stock alerts, and also join us in the challenge, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.